Good morning. Trying to be quiet. It's Saturday morning and I'm just about to whip up my favorite breakfast. Jay's too. He really likes it. What we're going to make today is my little carb sausage breakfast bombs. They're so simple and they're a great alternative when you don't feel like scrambled eggs again. Because my favorite way to eat scrambled eggs is with tons of ketchup and some buttered toast. And that doesn't really fly when you're doing a low carb lifestyle. So I whipped up this one day, just experimenting, and it actually came out really good. It's a little messy once it cooks. That's why I call it a bomb, because you put it in the oven and it's a nice, sphere from an ice cream scoop. And then once you bake it, it kind of bombs out a little bit, but don't worry about what it looks like. It tastes amazing. So to get started, I'm going to use some breakfast sausage. Now, I already bought it. It was already preformed into patties, but what I'm going to do is actually crush it up with my hands. So we're going to add that in. This is about a little more than half a pound, a little less than 3/4 of a pound. It's just the way my store packages it. Now to that, I chopped up some onion. I feel like this gives it a really good, like that veggie that you want to taste in your breakfast, the onion. So we're going to put about 2 tablespoons of that in there. I minced it up pretty small because I don't want anybody to bite into a big chunk of an onion. Chows are very unpredictable. All right, I think she's done. Maybe not. Anyway, so next we're going to use some mushrooms. And I like mushrooms in my omelets, and I really like mushrooms in this because it kind of gives that meaty texture to go along with the sausage and kind of beef up the breakfast bomb. I'm going to add those in. I chopped them pretty small too. Mostly the first time I made these to chop them small was because I was trying to hide them from Jason because he hates mushrooms. And actually he ate these a couple times before he even realized they were even in there. And now he just eats them anyway, even though he hates mushrooms. Alright, so the next ingredient we're going to add is some sharp cheddar cheese. Now at this point, you can probably add any kind of cheese that you want. I don't think it's really going to matter. I used sharp cheddar because I think it makes it look nice and yellowy, and I think that the flavor of cheddar cheese is, even though it's sharp, it kind of like mellows out once you bake it, and it really brings the whole bomb together. Lastly, oh, you know what? I forgot a fork. Got to scramble up some eggs. So I'm just using 2 eggs in this. So this is going to make about 15 breakfast bombs. But we're only using 2 eggs just to keep everything together. I didn't want to put too many eggs in it because I don't want it to be a scrambled muffin cup. I just want it to be kind of like just enough to hold everything together. So actually what I'm going to do is put these into a little dish, and we're going to scramble them before I add them in there because I want them to be all mixed and incorporated before I do that. All right. I'm just going to whisk this together. These are also great to have during the week because they keep up in the fridge for about up to 5 days. So I used to make a big batch of them over the weekend, and then we can heat them up in the microwave. It only takes about a minute and a half just to microwave these, just to warm them through. And at the end, I'm going to show you my favorite way to serve these. So make sure you stay tuned. Into the eggs, I'm actually going to add my spices. Just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then because we added onion, I love onion and garlic together. Now I didn't want to add garlic into these just because it is breakfast, but I do like the way that the spice tastes with the onion and the cheese and the mushrooms. It just brings out that little like savory note. I'm just going to add a little bit, not too much garlic powder. And then we're just going to mix this up one more time. Perfect. All right, taking my rings off because we're going to go in here with clean hands and just get it done. It's just the easiest way to do it, to get everything incorporated. Pour the eggs in. All right, so we're getting this all combined. You want to mix it just until everything, kind of melds together. The problem is it's going to be wet because we don't have any breadcrumbs or any drying, thing to suck up all the moisture. So it's going to be wet, but it's fine. That's how it's supposed to be. Once it gets all combined together, you'll see it's going to look just like this. It's falling out of the bowl even. That's how wet it is. That's fine. That's what we want. Now, while my hands are still dirty, I'm going to grab my sheet pan and my ice cream scoop. ice cream scoop I'm using today is 2 tablespoons. And I find that this is a good size because it cooks for the amount of temperature that we have and the time we're doing. It's a really good, perfect size for breakfast. So what I'm gonna do is grab a scoop, level it out. Try to make this as not messy as possible, but it's gonna happen. I'm using a sill pad, which I find is really helpful because nothing sticks to it. So you can get them at any cooking store, and I literally, it's paid for itself. I use it all the time. So I really recommend one of these. It just fits right into your cooking sheet, and then nothing sticks to it. So we're gonna go ahead and start plating our bombs. It's exactly what we want. See how they start off so pretty? Just wait till they come out of the oven. They're gonna spread out a little. They're gonna be they're gonna blow up like a bomb. All right, so I may have lied because we only got 14, but that's what happens. Sometimes your spoonfuls are a little over, sometimes they're a little under, and that's just what happens. It's just how cooking is. So, but 14 is one of my lucky numbers, so I think this is a blessing, so it's good. What we're gonna do with these is we're gonna stick them in a preheated oven. We did 375, and I've tested this a couple times. For me, 27 minutes is perfect. It comes out great every time, and I'm not going to mess with it because I found the perfect time. So meet me back here in 27 minutes after I pop these in the oven, and I'm going to show you my favorite way to serve them. 27 minutes is already up, and the bombs are out of the oven. I actually moved them to a paper towel lined plate just to catch all the residual grease that you get when you cook sausage on a flat baking sheet. So they're resting here. What I'm going to do next is show you how I like to serve these. Right here, we have our breakfast bombs. Little carb, of course. I added an addition of avocado to this because I feel like when you get a bite of the bomb and a bite of the avocado, it's the perfect creaminess for a breakfast. I've also added one of my favorite condiments, Cholula sauce. This is a great condiment if you're ever trying to replace ketchup because not only is it a lower calorie, it has no carbs. So you get this spicy kind of ketchup-y flavor without any kind of extra carbs. So it's a great condiment to use. I like to put it on everything. Here is no exception. It's really good. So what we have here is a low-carb breakfast that's quick and easy, not that many ingredients, just a couple things thrown together. You bake it in the oven and you're ready to go. They keep in the fridge for about 5 days. You can heat them up in the microwave. They take about a minute and a half, minute and 20 seconds, and you're ready to go. Slice up some avocado and you have a perfect breakfast. For this recipe, as well as many others, go to my blog for the exact ingredient amounts, and I'll see you next time.